Welcome to the RDC show. This is the first ever showing. We're here to bring you the working poor's or working man's political views. I'm Richard.
I'm Derek.
I'm Chris.
And a very special guest,
Dad.
Alright, the first topic we're going to tackle tonight is prohibition of marijuana. I have an article here in the Lansing State Journal, which is from May 28, 2012, if you want to look it up online. I just believe that everyone who has thinks it's bad or good should read this article. I will not say the people's names, even though it's already in the article. I don't want to be sued or something. Basically, it is a woman that's talking about her 7-year-old son who has a severe case of epilepsy, and the only drug that would help him was medical marijuana. She says in this article that she did not believe in it. She was never a pothead. It was never something that she cared about, but it was the only thing that helped her son. So she thinks that people should have compassion, which is what I believe very strongly. But more important than that, I believe it shouldn't even come down to this issue, because it should be a basic freedom. If I can drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes, then why can't I smoke a dried flower? Now we'll let these guys have a shot telling you what they think about it.
Hey, I'm for it because I heard stories about it helping people out. And, I think it should be legalized myself for all to use if you want to use it.
Well, that'd be something. That'd be liberty for sure.
Well, liberty, yeah.
Jump in whenever.
Well, all I know is that when I grew up, we actually read the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. When I went to school, we were taught what our forefathers fought and died for. And one of them, according to the Constitution, says pursuit of happiness. And my pursuit of happiness all my life has been smoking a joint. And I've had to break the law and be a crook in a land that swears that I have freedom. And it's always irritated me. So, but the fact that now that they found out that it not only gets you high, but it actually has good medical qualities, is like a slap in the face to these idiots that ever allowed it to be illegal.
And what cracks me up about it is most of the people that are against it are supposedly good Christians who have compassion and care for people, yet, that is, we can't have a joint, but we can all have guns. There's just something wrong with that. What if all of a sudden we started drying rose petals, and rose petals got us higher than anything? Yeah. Would they all of a sudden ban rose petals and start chopping them out of everyone's front yard?
For sure.
I'd say from the medical perspective, though, if you're talking about medical marijuana, doctors in Michigan were prescribing Marinol a long time before the medical marijuana passed in, 2008?
Yeah.
So, long before that, because I happen to know somebody that was a direct beneficiary of the drug Marinol, it helped deal with his cancer. And this is somebody who was a staunch Republican type, totally against drugs, totally with the war on drugs and Reagan, in line with it, every bit. Did not believe in, thought it was all just, people doing it to get high, whatever. That was the only purpose in it. But he didn't know that what he was taking was Marinol, and that was a synthetic form of the THC.
Did it have side effects? Like all pills do?
I can tell you that, he was, his final time on the earth was manageable because of that drug. Yeah, he was able to do things, and I actually benefited directly in that I got one more chance to have, like a memory with that person and not have them in agony where they're not pleasant to be around. It allowed me an opportunity indirectly to have that experience with that person and be able to enjoy it.
So then, what
I'm saying is, like, for me, it's kind of, I don't understand. Do you think that we're better off now than we were before?
No, we're worse. What are you talking about?
I mean, the situation.
Situation what?
Legalizing it?
Well, I just mean, like, basically the way people perceive marijuana smokers.
No, we're perceived as demons. We're perceived as not caring about society, not thinking. not being smart enough to tie your shoes. That's how they still perceive us.
Do you think that
They always
the criminal element has benefited or has, what has that done in that regard?
Well, if you pay attention to the criminal element, in all the states that have legalized medical marijuana, which, by the way, just so you know, I am a patient of, and so is my father. These two do not smoke, but they have opinions on the matter. But anyways, if you study the states that have legalized it, crime has gone down, and they say the Mexican drug cartels have actually lost money because of the states that have legalized it. In like our state of Michigan, there's 131,483 people that pay for that card. Now, in all truth and honesty, can this state afford to throw away $1 million plus dollars that it receives from that? No.
That's just in the user card, though. That doesn't include all the other stuff. Yeah.
Right. That doesn't include the stores and all that, but still, that's all the money.
Well, the stores aren't even open anymore, are they?
Yeah, they're back to being open.
Oh,
They're back in full power. I don't know.
Well, even that's probably helping like grocery stores.
Yeah, look at all the jobs that have been provided in this city since they passed it.
well, we got rid of it all here in the city of Lansing. They passed an ordinance that they couldn't be on Michigan Avenue and wiped out like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
Basically made the bar a little too high, to be honest about it. Unless you're really spending some money, your personal money.
Yeah.
They made it unattainable for everyone.
They trapped us. They got us all to pass this bill, put our names and addresses down, and now we live in fear every day because they change the laws constantly, or try to. They just sit there in their little uniforms, Shooty and Jones, and they sit there and they try to change things because they don't like the way it's going. Basically, what it comes down to is they're not getting their cut. Their pockets ain't getting greased.
You're not still under the illusion that voters run this country, are you?
No, voters.
Okay. Because we don't.
I haven't believed in that since Al Gore.
I'll guarantee you one thing: Republicans vote.
Oh yeah, they vote.
The people that don't vote are the Democrats, the poor, the independents.
In other words,
because they don't think they have a chance or don't care. But in reality, if they don't vote, they're cutting their own throats.
And anyone that watches this video, I send you a challenge. Do not vote Democratic or Republican in this presidential election. Change the world. If you really want to change the world, that's how you do it.
Well, we need to keep a close eye on what's going on in other countries right now, because they're going through that experiment right now. And the top two parties are losing big time.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. They're electing neo-Nazis and stuff like that.
Right,
The extreme.
Depends on who's running, though, too.
Yeah.
I mean, just like on here, Rosa Bar.
You don't want to get off.
We don't want to be out of the frying pan into the fire. Is what I'm saying.
So let's not get off too far off topic.
Yeah.
Just keep on what we're talking about. Derek, as a non-smoker, what do you think of the whole medical marijuana or smoking versus drinking?
I mean, I'm for it. I mean, I voted for it back when it was, it was on the ballot. I can't remember what year that was. 06. 08?
Yeah.
Oh, it was 08, yeah. I voted for it. And, hey, if it helps people out, I'm for it. To help people out.
What I don't understand is it's okay for us to take a pill that has nine of the ingredients they put in rat poisoning. There is a blood thinner pill they give people. I know because I have a friend whose wife is going through a lot of hard times with clots and stuff like that. Well, they gave her this drug to thin her blood that has 9 ingredients that are in rat poison. Now, that pill has since eaten the lining of her stomach, causing her to bleed even more, causing even more health problems for her than she had before. My point is, they can make these pills that they say are so good, but all you religious people, this isn't something that has man-made chemicals and crap in. This is something that your God put on the planet.
Yes.
But yet you refuse to acknowledge it and you say it's no good, even though in the Bible they tell you to cherish any plant that reproduces seeds to pass it on to the next generation. Yet we're all demons if we smoke it. But all you religious people can sit there and drink your little shots of brandy and talk about the poor people down in the corner smoking a doobie. I mean, You crack. I just
See,
don't understand.
it'll hit many industries if marijuana was illegal, because even like hemp is a strong you can make rope out of it, you can make wood out of it, and
Strongest
it's like
wood known to man.
strongest rope,
Hemp for
strongest
victory.
Yep.
yeah. And doesn't when it's grown,
Only the
doesn't
old
it
people
produce
will know
ozone?
what that means.
Doesn't it produce ozone?
Yes, it
Hemp
actually
for
produces
victory.
ozone. Yes,
Yes,
that's
it actually
why
heals the plant.
they can actually see the plants through infrared, because they
Right.
put off heat while they're giving off the ozone.
Yeah.
Now back to the religious aspect. If you want to be religious about things, why would God put that plant here? It produces the ozone. It helps the environment.
Helps the environment.
You can
heals
build
people.
with it. You can create paper out of it. You can make oil out of it.
You can heal people when I
You can
heal
heal
people,
people
but
with it?
Yeah.
Well, Richard,
It's
in
a dried
biblical
flower,
times,
people.
it was
A
known
dried
as the tree
flower.
of life.
Yeah, the tree of life.
It's
But yeah,
only
it's
the
bad.
modern
It's the worst thing
people
in the
that have
world.
banned it, and it was always done because they wanted no competition.
Yeah.
Other
Smart.
than that, it was actually bad for you.
Yeah, we're gonna edit this part. I don't know, a couple minutes left.
Well, the first time that they tried to ban marijuana, in the United States,
So that's 13
was actually in the
years.
1850s. It was the southern cotton growers that didn't want it to compete with cotton for fiber to make clothing. But the original diesel engine ran on hemp oil. And the World War II airplanes had hemp oil in their engines.
Yeah, our parachutes were made of hemp. Hemp fiber.
That's why they had hemp for victory.
Hemp for victory. So people, I would suggest that you try to watch such documentaries as The Union. What's that one called that Woody Harrelson narrates? Grass.
Are those really documentaries?
But
The Union is. That is a good one. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I
You
think
should
so.
watch it. Cannabis Cures Cancer, which you can find on YouTube. And other, I can't think of any other ones right now.
But I wanted to mention one thing way back about them pills. The other thing is that one person I knew that took them at the time they were taking them, it cost them $47 for each pill. You can buy an awful lot of weed that's probably better for you.
I'll give you
But
10
but
different
the
side effects.
The pharmaceutical
Well,
companies are making the money.
If you're smoking a joint, though, you're also inhaling carbon monoxide.
Well, that's why you
Burning.
vaporize it. You can eat it.
I mean, I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, at least. So I know what that does to you.
Now, is that any worse in your mind as a cigarette smoker?
To me, it's not any different.
And why is one legal and one is not?
Because one paid the money first.
That's right. It's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
Understand that, all that is. That's just.
Well, that's the end of this topic.
Segment.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with another segment.